This is the first time since 2007 the all-time winningest Smackoff caller is on the line. And he's not here to play a cameo. He's not here to guest star. He is here looking for number 6. He walked off on a three-peat. Nobody can say that. Just like nobody can say they've got a Smackoff ring for every finger on one hand. This guy does. He is the only one with 5. The record holder, Sean, the Cablinasian, is back for the first time in 12 years. Shawnee, what's going on?
Jim, the 12-year head start that I gave to the rest of these clones, these callers, folks, it ends right now. Jim, I can't even begin to tell you how great it feels to be back in this thing, man. Last year, Carbone picks me up homeless off the side of the highway, and now I'm back trying to add rings to a second hand. This is very, very cool. I appreciate it. It's been a long couple weeks, Jim. I'm a huge Big Papi fan, I got to tell you, because David Ortiz, he's literally the one jersey that I own. So it's been a rough couple weeks. The shooting totally messed me up, and I come to find out it was a case of mistaken identity. So naturally, the first thought that I have is, what beef could Esther Roll have possibly had with the Dominican drug cartel? Kids, trust me, look her up. Esther Roll looks exactly like Big Papi. Also, FYI to the Dominican drug lords, Esther Roll is already dead. She's been dead 20 years. Stand down. I've got 2 columns on my tweet deck going right now, Jim. Hashtag Smackoff and @TheRealOJ32. Jim, I know you had to have talked about OJ's Twitter account, I'm sure. OJ is now out here on Twitter giving out fantasy advice. Hey, Oj, I'm sure the players you're tagging in the tweets love getting buried in a bunch of murder jokes and dagger emojis in their mentions. Dude, nobody cares about your fantasy rankings. Stick to the stuff you do know. Searching for the real killers at the 19th hole, botched robberies, treating your enemies like you're a waiter at a Brazilian steakhouse. Stick with that. You see OJ working. Jim, he's just trying to pretend that the last 25 years never happened, like he can just waltz back into society. Hey, Twitter world. Jim, let the record reflect I am not OJ. Until last year, I was gone for a decade from the Smackoff, and I know I can't just waltz back into the Smackoff. I admit for a decade I was basically the uncle on meth at the Jungle Barbecue that nobody wanted to mention. I was doing rogue Smackoffs. I was on Twitter declaring the event dead after Chael Sonnen won it twice. Things I'm not particularly proud of. So whack away, clones. Nobody thinks it's dumber than I do. Also, yes, I know, I am bald, I am fat, and you're all wondering how much I'm paying my fiance. I get it. Go ahead. You see, you guys can Google my ass and find material for days. That's the advantage you guys have on me, an advantage that you will undoubtedly fumble away the same way all of you not named Brad have for the last decade. Try Googling Mike in Indy. You know how many Mikes there are in Indy? You Google Mike in Indy, all you get is a sea of images of old men with their Peyton Manning jerseys tucked into their dad jeans. Try Googling Mark in Boston. All you get are Craigslist links for a bunch of guys nicknamed Sully selling printer cartridges out of the back of their Buick LeSabre in Southie. Even Brad in Corona, the famous Brad in Corona. You Google Brad in Corona, and your browser turns into a Money in the Bank match of douchey UC Riverside frat boys named Brad. And let the record reflect, I think Brad is hilarious. Hell, Brad, you got 4 of these things. We shouldn't be adversaries. We should be forming a small council of smack where you, me, and I Afraidy just sit high atop the Red Keep, looking down and laughing at all the other callers, throwing poop at each other in the streets like it's King's Landing. By the way, you losers complaining about the final seasons of Game of Thrones, the ones who are like, and the timeline wasn't realistic for Dany to ride Drogon from Dragonstone to the north. She's riding a freaking dragon, and the least realistic thing to you losers is the timeline? Okay. Jim, in closing, some may see me calling as a nostalgia act. I've been gone a long time. I understand it. I'm not out here like some guys are calling in and doing one-man plays or reconstructing Mamma Mia or riding on the back of a dolphin, whatever these guys do nowadays. I pick up the phone, I call, I win more than anybody because I am the best at this. Always have been, always will be. Even after Brad or somebody else super kicks me in the mouth to win their 6, I am the best. Jim, in homage to truly terrible ideas, I actually did the first half of this call in Tampa Bay, and I'm finishing it up right now in Montreal. So allow me to say, au revoir, soutenir dans la boîte. Merci pour l'invitation. On se parle plus tard dans 2 heures quand j'accepte $5,000. Sous ça, les clones.
Hell yeah. All hail the champ. The Cablinasian, like he always has. Just like he ever was. Always making it look easy. The Cablinasian, Shawnee, back for the first time in 12 years. The 5-time champ. Nobody has ever won 5 of these things. Brad's got 4. He's trying to run him down. Nice job, Shawnee. Good to have you back.